Okay, our next presenter is Ingrid Slette. She is a fourth-year student in the graduate degree program in ecology and the Department of Biology. And she hopes to shed some light on the underground life of plants, which I think is evident from her title today, which is Don't Forget Your Roots, Gaining a Deeper Understanding of Ecosystem Responses to Drought.
Picture your houseplants when you get back from vacation and they haven't been watered in weeks. An image of wilted leaves immediately comes to mind, but it's harder to picture what's below the surface. Are the roots also wilted? We observe how leaves respond to change without even meaning to, but it's much more difficult to study what's happening underground. Scientists know more about how leaves respond to changing rainfall than about how roots respond, despite the fact that it's the roots which are responsible for absorbing that rain and providing the plant with water. Global climate change is altering rainfall patterns and causing more extreme droughts. This is already happening around the world, including in the United States. Droughts can have devastating economic consequences, and the ecological consequences can feed back to further alter our climate. Human emissions are increasing the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Plants perform a valuable service for us by absorbing some of that carbon dioxide and converting it into food, which fuels their growth. However, that process requires water. During drought, plants can't remove as much carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and so it continues to accumulate and further change our climate. My research is improving our understanding of how more extreme droughts will alter ecosystem-level plant carbon uptake. I create droughts which are reminiscent of the Dust Bowl and measure how plant growth changes both above ground and below ground. I work in grasslands, which cover more than a third of Earth's land surface and store large amounts of carbon, much of it underground in roots and soils. My research has demonstrated that roots are more sensitive to drought than leaves. Root growth decreases more than leaf growth during drought and takes longer to recover after drought. Decreased root growth means that plants can't acquire as much water, which decreases growth further, setting up a vicious cycle and sending plants into a death spiral. This will dramatically reduce the amount of carbon that grassland ecosystems are able to absorb and store. The leaves aren't sounding the alarm loudly enough. If we only study what we can see above the surface, we miss a crucial part of the story, and we significantly underestimate the impacts of drought. Results from my research will be used to improve computer models of climate change, which will improve our ability to predict and plan for the consequences of a changing climate. So next time you see a plant with wilted leaves, think deeper and consider what's going on below the surface.